Welcome to Blinkers Off with your hosts, Jared Welch and Aaron Halterman.
Hello. What is up? I'm Jared Welch, Aaron Halterman. It is Monday, June 2nd. This is Blinkers Off. What's up, dude?
Hey, man, what's up? Yeah, it's good to be here. I wish I would have done this like in the morning, but we're here in the afternoon. I've been waiting for this. So excited to see where everybody draws it. Excited to get the field out more than anything else and get the past performances out.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, it's not really like, the Derby's really the only one where you're really kind of sweating some things. But with this, you're just, more than anything, you're just like, all right, let's make this official. Let's get these horses in their positions and let's get going. So, and then they drew everything yesterday. So like we already have all the fields for every race on the card, except for this one.
Yeah, it is. It's weird, isn't it? Like, why would you draw all the races, but not the Belmont yesterday? That's so strange. But here we are. It is what it is. But yeah, we're finally here. We're going to draw it there. I guess they're running late. We don't have anything going on right now on the draw show that I'm looking at. Maybe I'm late to the party, or maybe they've already done it. But no, I haven't seen anything yet. So we're kind of in a holding mode. But it's nice to get it going. Like you said, there isn't, 1 through 8. It doesn't really matter, right? But you don't have that intensity, I would say, of a Derby draw, but it's still, it's fun to see them get their posts.
Let's talk a little bit about, while we're sitting here. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. By the way, I've got it ready to go on my end, just like we did the Derby. So when they go live or whatever they start, you start reading them off.
Yep.
And then I'll update. Hopefully, it takes me less time. Although I'm not committed to saying that less time to spell sovereignty this time versus the time I did in the Derby. Yeah. Still have not figured out how to spell that one. But hey, all right. So about the undercard, let's talk about the Met Mile while we're sitting here. Only drew a field of 5. Maybe that's like 2 more than we. It's weird because at first it was like, oh, this is going to be the best race. This is going to be the race of the year. And then it's like, well, now it might draw 3. And now it's like, well, it drew 5. So where you land on that, it sucks. But at the same time, you've got Guidabario versus Fierceness, which at the end of the day still creates a little bit of a handicapping puzzle in terms of which way you go.
Yeah, it's not too many, it's not too much different than last year when we had Guidabario versus National Treasure and 4 other ones. Now we just have 3, but other ones minus the 2 big ones. So no big deal. I'm not been out of shape about it at all. I looked at this card and I thought, yeah, this is great. So you're not going to hear me complaining about much. They only got 5 in the race. Hey, I wish they had 8 or 9. I wish they had 10 in the Belmont, but that's just not where we're at right now. So don't worry about it. That's kind of my thought about it. Like I said, I certainly wish 3 or 4 of the horses in the Matt win were in the Belmont, and then you'd have 12, and everybody would be super like, wow, this is crazy. But for whatever reason, horses skip out on major grade 1 races to run in grade 3 races. The Blame took away 3 or 4 horses from the Met Mile. The Triple Bend took away a horse for the Met Mile. These are grade 3 events that are taken away from grade 1 events. You tell me how that makes any sense, but there we go.
Yeah. And before people ask, I'm sure it will, like he referred to on Sunday, the day after, you've got the Matt win and horses like Final Gambit, who finished 4th in the Derby. Other Derby runners, Chunk of Gold, Burnham Square, Coal Battle, East Avenue, all of those horses opting to run in the Matt win over the Belmont. And you and I were talking last night. We're like, Final Gambit certainly would have, but Burnham Square had a little trouble in the race. Coal Battle was a horse people liked going in, and certainly East Avenue with speed would all have taken some money in the Belmont. So it's Final Gambit for me of all those. If the other ones showed up, that's I kind of get it. Maybe they're a little bit cut below, but I mean Final Gambit ran pretty well in the Derby, and going to mile 16th in the Matt win versus a mile and a quarter here. I don't know. It just feels like going longer would have been better.
Well, you would think. I mean, Final Gambit, I thought would, after the Derby, I thought, oh, he'll look good in the Belmont. You kind of thought like the mile and a half Belmont, even, a little bit with him, but still, you thought, yeah, he'll look pretty good in the Belmont, and then he doesn't show up. So that one is really odd to me. Burnham Square is odd to me too, to be honest, because you go back and watch the Derby. This is a horse that looks like he's getting ready to at least get, third, fourth, fifth, somewhere like that, and look good doing it. and he opts for the Matt win. And then East Avenue is just insanely puzzling to me because at worst, you put him in the race and he helps a horse like Sovereignty that they also own, right?
Yeah.
So that would be good. Or, hey, it's Saratoga. It's a speed favoring track. What if he gets out on the lead by himself? He could take it. So it was really kind of odd that those horses, who obviously are healthy, obviously doing fine, opted for the grade 3 Matt win over the grade 1 Belmont Stakes. But that's where we're at. And like Curtis Manlow mentioned, an allowance race at Churchill Downs yesterday took away a horse that could have looked good in the Met Mile and also could have looked good in a grade 3 race the day before in the Blame. I don't know what we're doing in racing right now with some of the trainers and just the ultra conservative approaches. In grade 1s, you're not supposed to dodge, right? You're supposed to, well, now it's a grade 1. We got to face each other. And that's just not what we do. So I don't know.
That's weird. But listen, as much as, as annoying that is, we do have, at least we have we have the matchup we would all want in the Belmont. You've got, and then really, if you want to add your trifecta there with this top 3 that makes the race completely really interesting. And again, the same thing, the Met Mile. Yeah, you would like to, if there's a few in there you'd like to have, but would you really pick any of those? Like, would you if that, you know what I mean? Like, you got Fierceness and you got White Barrio. So for the most part, you got the right horses in the races, I should say, but you wished there would have been a little bit deeper fields. But all in all, the card is fantastic. You and I were talking yesterday. It's like, I think the Woody Stevens is what we kind of thought. What is it called? Help me out.
Pat Day Mile would be.
The Pat Day, yes, thank you. The Pat Day was going to be. The Pat Day turned out to be one of the worst races. Like, oh, that was so bad. Mm-hmm. The Woody is amazing. It's got every horse that was on the Derby Trail basically at one point. Mm-hmm. That is like, oh, that's the horse that is cutting back now.
Yeah, no, I agree. I thought the Woody Stevens drew great. I thought a lot of these races drew great. And again, like you said, even the Belmont and the Met Mile that are shorter, at least the big time horses are there. And you're right, like you're probably picking White Barrio or Fierceness in that race anyway. But it does two things. One, it does give you other options if there's 8 or 9 horses, and 2, it gives you better prices on those horses. And I think that's important too. Even if you want to pick Fierceness or White Barrio, if you had more entries, you get a better price because the money's spread out a little bit longer, or more, I should say. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. We've gotten what we've gotten. They are live now. Acacia Clement is on the stage, so I'll keep an eye on things and see when they actually draw.
Well, they're one step closer. Listen, you guys give us shit, or at least me shit, for being late. We're on time. We're ready to go. Mm-hmm. We're ready to see this field. Guys, if you are going to be at Saratoga for, of course, the Belmont, hey, make sure you stop by, say hi. Halter and I will be there on Saturday. I don't know that we're going to get – I don't remember what time the flight you ended up landing on. We're not going to get there for Friday, are we?
If we're at the races Friday, it means they've had all kinds of problems, and that post time got delayed quite a bit. No, we won't be there Friday. We will be there Sunday for sure. Sunday all day, and of course Saturday all day as well. So
yeah, we kind of opted when we make these trips. It's like sometimes, not sometimes. It is the worst at leaving early Sunday morning or something after just an intense couple days of drinking and staying up late and, being busy with work and everything. So it's like, all right, let's opt to get there later, have Sunday. And we've done that before at Saratoga, and that's always a lot more enjoyable when you have Sunday whether it be Sunday to relax or recover, which I've done as well. Mm-hmm. So we will be there, Saturday and Sunday at Saratoga. Can't wait. So if you are going to be there, make sure you hit us up. And, we'll be schmoozing with the big dogs, but maybe we might make it down to see some people a few times. So,
it's definitely. I'm looking forward to Sunday. I think that's going to be great to kind of, like I said, relax a bit after the Triple Crown ends. That'll be nice to see. Saratoga not as jam packed as well, so that will be nice as well. I think they're actually getting close to entering. The horses here. I can't, like I said, I've got the volume down, but it seems like I don't think they're bringing up any guests or anything up on the stage. Sounds like she's just gonna go right to it here, but we will see. It's gonna be such a great week of racing. Friday's card's very good as well. So it's really just, I mean, even Wednesday, Thursday is not bad. I wish we were there all week. All right, looks like they're playing a video package now, so I don't know. Maybe we'll get to it eventually. Should be a lot of really good, like you said, the undercard races. I would think your past performances are going to be out about an hour after this thing's drawn, because all the overnights are out and everything. So I think it'll be pretty quick. We'll get to handicap tonight, and that's always good to get going a little bit earlier.
Yeah, the betting Bible is available for sale right now on the website at racingdudes.com. If you haven't got that already, go ahead and you can purchase it. You'll be the first to get it once it is live, which again will be hopefully by Wednesday. We'll have everything again with the post draws and stuff already being out. We should get started hopefully tonight, but be looking for that as well as, guys, I should mention before we go do the post draw. After we do the post draw and after we talk about the race, we're going to draw our our 20 finalists for the second round, or the second version of the Dudes Belmont this time. And so we're going to do 20 entries. All you have to do is be a subscriber. So go to racingdudes.com, subscribe on our website. It's $70 a month. If you're a premium subscriber, not only do you get the Belmont Betting Bible for free, you also will be entered to win. We gave away $1,000 on Derby Day. We'll do it again on Thursday. So
yeah, it's going to be fun. I've got the wheel ready. So we'll draw, like I said, the 20 contestants, and like I said, we'll run that race. It's going to be, I always love I don't know. I like the wheel, and then I like the race too. I like both of them about as equally. It's fun. The giant wheel, you could barely even see the names on it. It's always kind of fun to spill that thing. If you want to get entered into it, all you got to do right now, if you're not a subscriber, is go subscribe. I'll add your names. I'll make one more swoop of the names, and I can add them. So if you buy between now and when we spin the wheel, I will add the names. And as I say that, they did draw the first one here, Jared. Let's see if they're going to have a graphic, or are we just calling them out? Here we go. The graphic. Heart of Honor is number 8.
Okay.
And he is 30-1. Baeza, number 6. And he is 4-1. Uncaged, number 4. He is 30-1. Look out.
He's what, 30?
30-1, yep.
Ooh.
Sovereignty, wait, what happened? They just stopped. There we go. Sovereignty, post 2, 2-1. Rodriguez, post 3, 6-1. Oh, great spelling there of Sovereignty.
I got it. What was Sovereignty's odds?
2-1.
And what was Rodriguez?
Rodriguez, post 3, 6-1.
Okay.
Crudo, post 5, 15-1. Hill Road, post 1, 10-1.
All right.
And then, of course, it will be Journalism, and he has been made the morning line favorite of 8-5. There it is. That's your field.
There we go.
All right. Well, that is how you draw a race, by the way. Give them a lot of credit. I mean,
boom, 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 boom. Yeah, there we go.
You couldn't even type it fast enough.
Seriously, yeah. I mean, that's impressive for them. And so 2-1 versus 8-5. Beza 4-1, 6-1 on Rodriguez. I mean, I don't have any issue with that morning line.
No, I thought they would flip Sovereignty and Journalism. I thought Sovereignty would be made the morning line favorite, but I guess I'm not shocked at the same time either. I do think, there is that overwhelming thought that Journalism is still the better of the two, even though it was, it was a no-brainer like loss. Like he beat him fair and square is what I'm trying to say. So, I think the morning line is okay, and it usually is at NYRA.
So, yeah, Rodriguez draws the 3, draws inside. Sovereignty, we know, is not going. Hill Road's not going. Who's going with him?
Crudo? Maybe?
I guess. I mean,
Kevin V texted me. and he's like, Crudo adds speed, right? I was like, I don't know. I'll have to see them up together, but Crudo is a fast horse against weaker horses, but will he be fast enough against better horses? That's the question. But yeah, Crudo, I would think, is going to be the one. I think Baeza will kind of send a little harder than what we saw him in his last race as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm going to certainly enjoy drawing from post 6 versus post 21, so, and, not being an off track, hopefully, although we'll talk about that in a second. But, yeah, I think Baeza would be certainly more forwardly placed. But at the end of the day, I think, especially after the debacle in the Preakness, Baffert's like, send my effing horses out of the gate. Send them. And we know, there's no question that Rodriguez has been best when he's been sent. So I think they'll make the lead at all costs, essentially, meaning I think that's their best chance to win. So, I mean, whoever wants to go with them is going to have to kind of sacrifice themselves just a little bit, I feel like, because I know Rodriguez isn't going to be going slow on the front end.
Yeah, and you've got 2 horses, Hill Road and Sovereignty, that'll just right to the back. So, yeah, I mean, within 3 strides, Rodriguez should be on the rail, and then you would assume on the lead. So that's going to be – he's set up for a pretty nice trip around there. It'll just be, is he good enough? And I think with Rodriguez, the big question is, you do look at this and go, boy, what a setup. Well, let's not forget, this horse hasn't ran since April. He's had I mean, I wouldn't call it a significant injury, but he's had an injury that's kept him away from the track, since April. So, even if he gets out there and gets an easy lead, how fit is he going to be? And can he go 1.25 miles? I'm not sure, but I am going to tell you that, that trip looks perfect here for Rodriguez. He's going to be tough to catch, I would say, on the front end. And I look forward to kind of analyzing just how fast is Crudo and will he go up there and pressure him or not? Because that's going to be a big time key to the race.
Yeah, this is, and the question in the chat is, what will Rispoli do to get journalism in trouble here out of an 8-horse field? I'm sure he'll find a way to get stuck on the rail. But no, the crazy thing is how the connection still completely back him. So yeah. They're like fully supportive of the ride in the Preakness. So. He'll obviously be. Do they have the jockey assignments out on there?
Yes, it'll be Irad on Hill Road, Junior Alvarado, of course, on Sovereignty, Mike Smith on Rodriguez, Luis Saez on Uncaged, Johnny Velasquez on Crudo, Flavian Pratt rides Baeza, Umberto Rispoli on Journalism, and Safi Osborne on Heart of Honor. So no surprises with the jocks. That's kind of what they've been saying for a couple weeks.
Yeah, Baffert doesn't really, at first when Mike got on him and they won when he sent him to New York, you kind of thought, well, maybe he just kind of needed a ride, and kind of got one, but he stuck with him, when it's probably some other options. But, Money Mike, who knows how to win, obviously the Belmont Stakes, going to be trying to go gate to wire. We'll see. But with Rodriguez, I mean, listen, it's really not, and this is kind of the way a lot of these races are on Saturday is like, okay, I think they're gonna run well. I think these are good horses. I just need to figure out which one's the best. Do I think Journalism is better than Sovereignty? And if so, bet them. I don't think there's not a lot of the Derby pace and the setup and the post position. It's like, no, the best horse should probably win, especially this year with it being 1.25 miles. But having said that, how concerned are you over Journalism's third race here of the Triple Crown?
Yeah, I think you always have to be concerned. I think history kind of shows you this third one sometimes, not all the times, but sometimes can kind of get them. Sometimes it doesn't. So I think you're just going to have to kind of trust that, hey, he wouldn't be in this race if he wasn't doing really well. I think if you're going to back Journalism, you kind of just have to say, hey, his connections say he's doing really well. I don't think they don't need to run him. There's no pressure to run him here. You could easily skip, and I think everybody would understand. So if you're going to back him, I think you just have to go into it thinking, hey, he's going to run well. Maybe it's not A++, but he's going to show up and run a good enough race to give him a chance to win. So I'm not overly concerned because of kind of how the talk has been, and that I just don't feel like they enter this horse unless they think he's going to do it, or at least show up and have a lot of energy. I am, and again, this is without handicapping yet. I am very, very interested about the pace, and could that affect Sovereignty? I think if that pace isn't there, he's going to have a little bit of trouble. So I think that's going to be an interesting handicapping puzzle. And like I said at the beginning, I really hope the past performances come out quick so we can get going on it, because I think the pace is going to be the key to this race.
Yeah, the pace setup, because if he is too far back, how, will he be able to get there if the pace isn't, lightning fast? And I mean, I think we would agree, probably not. But he's certainly, well, at the very least, he'll have his work cut out for him. I mean, he could get there. He could be a freak. Well, this is a big race for Sovereignty, I feel like, because while he certainly lived up to it in the Derby. We haven't, and we talked about that a little bit with journalism, right? In the Preakness, it's like, okay, what is he? Was the Derby kind of like, okay, he's really good, he's just not great like we thought maybe going in? Okay, no, he confirmed in the Preakness, yeah, no, he is like the real deal. Kind of same with Sovereignty. Is he really good, or is he great? Because he could sit here and win 2 legs of the Triple Crown just like journalism could as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's such a fun. That's what makes it fun, because like you said, if Sovereignty win, it's like he wins 2 out of 3 and didn't even try it. How weird is that going to be? How are we going to look at Sovereignty? As far as history shows us, even 3, 5, 10 years from now, what are we going to say about this horse? That he won 2 out of 3 legs and didn't try the third. And then if journalism wins, it's like he got second in the Derby and then won the last 2 legs. That's pretty incredible. And we'll really gush about him, I would say. I want to bring up this because Robert says he expects the pace to be 24, 48, and 113. I think if it's that, and I'm going to say this with an idea of, let's say the track is fair, like all things being equal. It's not like if we get there and speed hasn't totally collapsed all day, or speed hasn't, whatever, it's just a fair track and they run those fractions. I think Hill Road, Sovereignty, Heart of Honor, I think they're in trouble. If that's the pace on that track at Saratoga, I'm not sure they get there. I think it's got to be a slight bit faster than that for those horses. Now, Robert, that could be a good guess. Again, I don't want to say it until I actually handicap it. But if it's that is when I think it opens the door, or not even open the door, but it closes the door on the closers, and you want the stalkers or the horses in front.
Yes, this is the field. Just so people, those are the odds. Yeah, I think because of what you're saying and the on paper of it being a kind of one-dimensional race, meaning Rodriguez seems to be lone real legit speed. I think they're going to be like you said with earlier, Bieza, even journalism, hey, we're going to need to be a little bit closer here to be in striking distance. And, and that's another thing is there was a lot of talk about in the Derby, did journalism, or Rispoli, I should say, move too soon, and if there is any kind of, if that was, I don't think he did, but that's the talk. Will we see, how, where will Sovereignty be in relation to journalism, and who will kind of move first? You know what I mean? Like, will there be a little bit of jockey race in the sense of, okay, you beat me last time, I'm not going to let it happen again. We see that a lot where you kind of see, the jockey on Sovereignty can just, he'll just never stop looking at Rispoli and journalism. Like, that's the main focus. And so, and then here goes Bieza, he squirts away, and it's like, all right, well, shit, So I think you got to be a little careful of that, making it all about one particular horse. Having said that, I do think that will be very interesting to see kind of how that race unfolds given the last time they faced each other.
Yeah, I just kind of view it as you're going to have, Rodriguez out in front. I'm going to guess Crudo's in second or pressing for the lead or whatever. And then I'm not really worried about Uncaged so much, but I think about the other ones. It's like, I don't care where Uncaged is, but I think, Bieza will probably be third, and then journalism kind of a tick behind in fourth. And I'm with you. I think Sovereignty and Hill Road, even if you're going to throw him in there as well, I think Irad and Junior are just kind of going to wait, and they're going to see, okay, when are those two horses that are legit in front of me going to try to make the move, and then we're going to make the move right behind them. And for if you're in Sovereignty's case, you're going to think, hey, let's outfinish them to the wire. We'll give them a couple of links there in the at the very top of the stretch, and then we'll go get them. And I think that's exactly what they're going to do. With 8 horses and kind of a pace that, again, I think is shaky. Let's just call it as of right now. Or questionable, probably be the better phrase. It becomes a rider's race. It really does. When do you move? How do you time it? Sometimes, it's hindsight that really gives you the right answer, but, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. And I think Baeza is extremely interesting as well, because you've seen him in the San Diego Derby for a second. It looked like he was going to go out there and be part of the pace, and then they kind of wrangled him back. So, if it's slow, I do think he's got a little bit of a tactical advantage over the other two, big ones. And if it's fast, I think he can kind of sit back with journalism and wait. So it's a rider's race, in this situation. These horses, there's not much separating the 3 of them. And, the best ride may just get the job done.
All right, again, guys, I'm going to give about 10 more minutes here of analysis, if I could say it. And then we're going to jump into the subscribers drawing. So again, if you haven't done so, go over to racingdudes.com. Just go to the Get Racing Dudes Premium button, and you can subscribe for as low as $70. You get the Belmont Betting Bible absolutely for free. You'll be entered to win here in a second. We'll draw the top 20 contenders that will be running our subscribers race. Will be running for $1,000 on Thursday. So you got about 10 minutes to do that over at the website. Halterman, I have to talk about it here. Maybe it'll change. Obviously, I would argue, out of anybody I know, certainly you know all about Saratoga weather, and kind of the question marks behind it sometimes, and how quick one can come in and come out. The weather doesn't look great. It's kind of been the story of the Triple Crown a lot in some regards.
Yeah.
The weather looks really, really nice, really fairly warm, I should say, even all week in Saratoga. And then starting Friday night, it says showers, and there's about a 50% chance on Saturday, and cold. Well, cold, 70 and 58 on the lows. What do you think? Like, it's kind of the same thing. Like, you can't really handicap for it. You might as well just, see what happens.
Well, we got to dress up Saturday, so I don't mind it being cold. I'm glad it's cold and not hot, so that'll be comfortable sitting out in it. Yeah, listen, I think anytime you're going to Saratoga, you have to be prepared for all the elements. I tell the story every time when people talk about the weather. I was there one day. The forecast was 80 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. That was seriously the forecast. And it rained so hard after about this 3rd race, they canceled the races that day. So, look, it can happen at any time. The weather is very fickle there. It sits right at the base of the Adirondack Mountains, and they get weird weather, and they get rain sometimes when they don't expect it, and sometimes when they do expect it, it doesn't. Just kind of remember the main thing is, usually when the main track gets sloppy, speed is what you want, right? So kind of just keep that in mind. That's the only thing I can really tell you. That's kind of it's pretty consistent that's the case. But with any time weather's coming through, you just kind of have to let it roll. The Derby and Derby Day, both Oaks and Derby Day, it rained a lot, and it really didn't affect that much. It really didn't. And I hope that's the case here. I also don't think any of the races will be taken off let me go back. I don't think any of the stakes races will be taken off the turf that day. I do think, if there's an allowance or something, I haven't looked at the undercard. There aren't stakes, but if there is an allowance out there that's on the turf, perhaps, they're going to take that race off. But look, the other thing of it is, if it just rains a little bit, it's really not going to be that big of a deal. So just keep that in mind. I'm not overly concerned about it.
Yeah, I guess the one thing I would say is, and there's really no way to know. Obviously, we could find out maybe that happened again, but the thought could have been, because you look at the numbers and how they ran, and kind of obviously Sovereignty's number increased quite a bit versus his normal runnings. It's like maybe the track being sloppy in the Derby elevated him enough to kind of run a little bit better than journalism. That's an argument, right? I'm not saying it's fact. If you do get that weather, you could have another case like that. Just something to think about. Again, though, Derby's a little different than running at Saratoga on the slop, so we'll find out. The turf races. Hey, listen, Christopher, I'm hoping. I do think it's going to be very interesting how as much hate as there has been on Sovereignty and Bill Mott, not really Sovereignty, but Bill Mott. And then, I mean, literally, it's like everyone's like, I'm rooting against this horse. I hope this horse never wins again. Like literally, like that's what people are saying. And was that? But then at the end of the day, it's like, but I'm still going to bet him. How much will the money trump your hearts and feelings as far as how he's going to be bet?
It's not going to bother me one bit because, like I said, it is a hard thing to do, but you absolutely have to separate the two. So I'm not looking at that and going, oh, forget him because of that. But I do think it will affect some people. I really do, because look, it is a hard thing if you are oh man, I'm so mad at that horse, or what, it pisses me off. He didn't do this or that, or that what he said. Some people are just like, yeah, I'm not betting him, so I do think it'll affect him some. I really do. For me, I'm just going to look at the paper and do what's best. But I think it will kind of, hinder him a bit. And if you want to feel that way, I don't really have a argument back to you.
Yeah. Do you think? Last couple questions here, guys. Someone asked, what odds would you not bet Sovereignty? What odds would you not bet Journalism? I mean, is there any? I do think because they're both in the race and Bieza as well, that you're not going to really get one that's really overbet.
I don't really have an answer for it yet. I don't have an answer for it. I really don't think it's going to be a problem. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't know what your odds might be on it, but I think they're both going to be kind of where they are in the morning line. I really don't expect either one of them to be lower than 8-5. So, if you like them, I guess long story short, 8-5 would probably be my answer on them. But again, I don't really know. I really just haven't made a decision on this one yet. I think this is a very tough race.
It definitely is. It's again, it's very similar, like I said, to kind of what you have to do all weekend, where it's like these fields are loaded. Like even like look at the nitrogen race. That's a horse that you and I know both really like. And it's like, all right, either committing to nitrogen or, you know what I mean? Like there's other good horses in the race. Look at the Woody Stevens, look at the Met Mile. Even it's like, is it Fierceness? Is it Wide Barrio? At the end of the day, they're both good horses. You got to make a choice here. Like there's not, a lot of, we've seen these horses enough now, right? That you kind of know what they are, at least you feel like they do. And Sovereignty and Journalism are very, very close. I do think Journalism is the better horse. If you had put a gun to my head, you wonder about that. How tired is he? That's a lot of racing he's done, a lot of tough racing he's done in such a short amount of time as the Triple Crown is. So that's the question mark. He's not as fresh as Sovereignty and Bieza for that matter. But one thing you'll say about Journalism, a dude knows how to win. Like he's a gutty little horse.
Yeah, he is for sure. He proved that. He proved he is a very gutty horse for sure. And, what a race by him. We don't need to gush on it any longer. I mean, it was so good. But you said it. I mean, Bieza and Sovereignty should have an advantage over Journalism. That third race in 5 weeks is, like I said, you go back and look through history, sometimes that will really get them. Even the good ones, they don't run well. And then some do. It's horse dependent, right? You go back and look at California Chrome when he was at the Belmont and he just didn't run his race, that day, or he would have won, but he didn't have enough left. And so that happens with horses sometimes, more often than not. So, look, again, but the Journalism has beaten Bieza twice, and Sovereignty might be pace dependent, and it is a circle race. You're going to go around in circles when you handicap at this one, unless you've just, you've got a strong conviction and you've got your mind made up. I don't see it that way. I think it's a very, very interesting puzzle.
Yeah. part of me thinks whoever it is, whether it be Bieza, Rodriguez, even if you want to throw him in the mix, and certainly journalism, that you almost want to be like, you know what, we're not. I don't want to be in eyesight of sovereignty. Let's get the jump on him so he can't get there. And that's why I do believe we will see some of these horses. Obviously, Rodriguez will be, but Bieza or journalism be a little bit more forward than they normally would be. Just because, like, hey, the further I can get make a head start essentially on sovereignty here, the better. And Hill Road, I think, is another one that is coming in the race the right way. Do you have any interest in him underneath? Like, could he, is he just not good enough for you, or are you just gonna not using?
Yeah, it feels like maybe one of the big three won't get there, and Hill Road might be one to use. Yeah, I mean underneath only. I don't see it as far as winning. I don't think he can raise his game to that level. But I do think he's an underneath horse to use. I think you really when it comes underneath. Well, I mean, you just have to make a decision. Is this going to be a decent pace or faster, or is it going to be slow? And if it's going to be slow, I don't think you play Hill Road anywhere.
Yeah.
So that's the number one thing you have got to make that decision of, is this going to be a fast pace? And that, if you get that answer right, your handicapping becomes much easier to hit, because that in a race like this, it always means a lot, but this is one where for me, it's really teetering on, it could go either way. And those are uncomfortable situations.
Well, the last thing I'll ask you, I asked you this last week when we talked about this race a little bit. Have you had, now that you've had a little time, maybe you're still not there. But if I said, hey, which you just mentioned, maybe one of those three don't fire, are you leaning one or another more now than you were last week, as far as like, hey, I'm starting to wonder maybe, journalism is a little tired or whatever, like, or are you still trying to figure it out?
Yeah, I'm not overly concerned about journalism being tired. I just don't, there's no motivation to me. Like, okay, you've got journalism. If he's not doing well, you're not sending him here. There's no reason to do it, right? So him being in the race, I'm not worried about that. Now, I really don't have any further progress on trying to pick between those three now, but no, I'm not worried about it. If he shows up and he doesn't run well, and you kind of knew, well, that could happen, but he could also show up and run great. And again, I say he's going for the Triple Crown this weekend. Well, shit, he's running no matter what, right? But if he went out there last weekend and he didn't work well, or things didn't go well for him, I really don't think he'd be in the entry box, because at the end of the day, they want to go out there and get this race. And they know if they go out there and get this one, then they've got 2 out of 3 and they've got the leg up for being the 3-year-old of the year. But also, if they lose this race, they've got a lot of work to do with a horse that just ran in all 3 legs of the Triple Crown. And now you got to go out there and win races in the summer. It gets harder, right? So them being in the race tells me they are confident he's going to run well. Now, does that mean he wins? That's for you to decide, or us to decide. But if he's in the race, it tells me he's doing just fine.
Well, I agree, and I completely agree, Shotty. I even mentioned that before the Preakness race. I think the margin is a little bit misleading when you look at he stood up and kind of cruised home whenever Bieza was still coming. So I think the gap closed when it necessarily wouldn't have as much. So I don't really take much to that. And to Bieza's kind of point, I honestly, and I like Bieza, and I like him a lot, to be honest. But he's still, if you look at out of those three, he's the one we don't know enough about, and really don't know. I think I know, but you know what I mean? I think I know, but I'm not sure. And I kind of feel like sovereignty and journalism are certainly journalism proven to be like, you know what, you can depend on these. They'll hit the board. They're just going to run their race. They're solid every time. Bieza should be, I think. But if you had to go between those three, I would probably lean a little bit towards Bieza being the one that I'm iffy on.
The problem,
I don't want to make it sound like I'm iffy on him, because I do really like him. But if you had to make me pick between the three, that's probably where I would land.
Here is I about said problem, and it is a problem, I guess. But here's kind of my thought process on Baeza. You tell me if this makes sense. And I'll ask you first. Didn't you feel like he had every opportunity in the world to win the San Diego Derby?
Oh, yeah.
He didn't do it.
Yeah.
And if it is, I don't know if it was journalism getting tired or journalism pulled up or whatever. But if journalism was, let's just say they let off the gas, didn't he have every opportunity in the world if that was the case to get second? I mean, that was 2 times to me where Baeza should have finished ahead of journalism and he didn't do it. So what changes the third time? To me, journalism's got to take a little bit of a step back, or Baeza obviously has to take a step forward. Both of those are possible, and that's what makes him a definite player. Because could we sit here and say, hey, this is Baeza's third race against Stakes Company. He got a hell of a lot of experience in the Kentucky Derby. He still ran well. Is he set up for his best race yet? Yeah, you could make that case. And you could also make the case that journalism may not run quite as well as he did the first 2 times he faced him. So to me, all things being equal, from the data we have so far, Baeza can't win. But all things may not be equal Saturday, and there's legitimate reasons to think they might not. And so that's another piece of it.
Yeah, and you also, if you want to even go down further the rabbit hole, you could say, well, Bob Baffert intentionally sent Rodriguez away from that group in Santa Anita because he knew he couldn't beat any of those horses. So how are you going to sit here and say that he can beat them here in the biggest race of the year, basically, other than the Kentucky Derby? So
Bingo.
There's that argument too.
And Bob Baffert literally said, they asked, well, why did you take him? Why did you take Rodriguez to the wood? Was it to get away from journalism? He's like, he laughed. He said, yeah. So look, Rodriguez, there's one dimension where I play him. I handicap the race and think he's 3 lengths best up the backstretch. Then he can win because then the dynamics are all in his favor. If I handicap the race and I don't see a lonely lead for him, I'm not playing him on top. It's that simple.
All right, guys. So this is obviously a preliminary. We just got the field. We will be handicapping this week. We will be live on Blinkers Off this week on Thursday, going over obviously the race and giving our official picks. The betting Bible will be available in the next couple of days as well. You can be the first to go get it at racingdudes.com. So that will be up next or later this week, I should say, before we head to the Belmont. But first, Halterman, you know what time it is. Coming up next, we will do our top 20 subscribers. Let's go.
All right.
The moment of truth, everybody. Here we go.
There
Halterman.
it is. All right.
Look at that thing. I think it's hard. It's harder to see this time, I feel like.
I think there's a few more names. That's why it's harder to see. It has expanded a little bit. Some people have subscribed. We have some new people. But yeah, here we go. We've got it. Are you ready? Do you want me to start spinning?
All right. Here, I'll bring it in here because so people know what's going on. So, guys, here we are. We did it for the Kentucky Derby. We gave away $1,000 on Derby morning. William B, I think, is in the chat. I saw him earlier, anyways. Crushed his horses, and won the one grand on Derby morning. Got that taken care of before he even made a bet on Kentucky Derby Day. So how about that? And what we're gonna do is essentially, if you're a Racing Dudes subscriber, meaning you pay $70 a month at minimum. There's different options, but that's the low end. $70 a month, you get free picks for every day. Premium picks, everything for every single day. You also get all our betting Bibles for free. So obviously the betting Bible for the Belmont Stakes is coming up now. You get that absolutely for free. It's $40 alone for that. You can pay $70, you get picks for the whole month in that. So if you are an active subscriber, you're automatically entered. So what we're going to do, there's however many, Halterman. How many do we have? Like 300 so? Something like that?
341, I think it was. 340 something. Yeah.
Okay, so if you are on that list, and we will now draw 20 names, and those 20 will run live for us on Thursday during Blinkers Off. Those 30 or 20 horses will run in a digital race, basically. It's a randomizer, what it is, but it looks fun because there's digital horses running on the screen. And we will do that live on Blinkers Off on Thursday. So I think that's enough. Again, I'll give you guys like 20 seconds here before Halterman starts going. if you want to get in on this. But good luck, everybody. Hopefully everybody learned how to run a little bit better last time. And if you did get in the race, didn't get a call, a few of you. And if you did make the race, maybe you will this time. So, all right, Halter, I'll let you take over.
All right, here we go. We're going to spin it here. We're going to give 20 entries. And then, like I said, we'll run the race on Thursday's Blinkers Off. Okay, are you ready? Let's do it. Here we go. All right.
Here.
We're spinning. And it's going to fall to, Philip Laro. Philip Laro. That is number 1. Philip Laro.
Philip, you're in the race.
He's in. He is in. Long time
horses
subscriber.
running. You're one of the 20 for the Belmont Stakes digital racing. I don't know what we're calling it. Whatever.
Take his name off, don't I?
Yeah, take it off.
Okay, Phil Laro. Okay, he's done. All right. I think I did that right. If we spin it and it's him again, we'll just spin it. It's not.
Is that you?
I hope so.
That's you. That's all. All right.
Philip Laro is in. All right, here we go. Number 2. If Philip comes up again, I didn't delete his name properly, but it will just spin it again. So don't worry about it.
How many entries can he get?
David Feldman. David Feldman.
I know that name.
David Feldman. Yep. Yeah. Oh, I can hit remove right here. There we go. Okay. Now I got to figure it out. Yep. David Feldman is in the race. So Philip Laro, David Feldman. Okay, here we go. Good start. All right, number 3. Okay. Jeff Malik.
And again, guys, if you, we will email everybody. I'll have Halter and I send out a list, and then I'll email everyone, let them know, like, hey, you made it. We'll be running it live.
Yes, absolutely. Jeff Malik, congratulations. You're now in. Oh my gosh.
Still labeled the Wheel of Death.
Oh. William Bartles almost got in again. Oh. Joel Gavin is now in the game. Joel Gavin.
Yeah, John, I should get the Price is Right theme going here.
Dude, William Bartles was like 1 away from getting
Dude, if he would have got, hey, there's still a chance, William B.
Absolutely.
William G. Absolutely. He just had such a great stretch run.
Willie B. All right, let's keep going here. This will be number 5 in. And it is going to be, Todd Bargstat.
No, William B put himself in position in striking distance, and in the last 10 seconds, he came running.
I missed. I didn't remove Todd Bargstat. Damn it. Okay, let's keep going here.
It's your first time?
The 6th entry into the race will be Chris Holzoff. We've got some real made up names.
Yeah, I was saying Shotty's right. These do sound made up.
I actually have most of these names are very familiar. Yeah. Chris Holzoff, you're now in. All right, here we go. I don't think anybody from the chat's made it yet.
John G, yes. We did the draw. We talked about the race. We'll give our analysis and picks though later this week on Blinkers Off.
Hit rewind if you want Belmont coverage. Anybody's watching right now. Yeah.
We talked a lot about it though earlier.
Marco Rodriguez. He's in now.
Kevin.
There you go. Marco
what
Rodriguez.
We're doing is we're just going through every name of all our subscribers and just one by one, not taking them off.
All right, here we go. Marco Rodriguez. Is he related to Rodriguez the horse? We'll find out. Okay, number 8.
I can't. I don't know how you.
So close. Michelle Green.
Who was it close to?
It was very close to Kennedy Glasscock. It's not a made-up name.
You added that one. Okay. That's you.
All right, number 9. I like this. Will Marco scratch? Marco Rodriguez. Will Marco scratch? We should draw an also eligible just in case. Okay. The 9th Yeah, nice. Ninth horse in the race is Daniel Henricks. Daniel Henricks. Okay. That's Jared's ex-wife. All right, 10th horse in the race.
It's one of my ex-wives.
We're halfway there after this one. And it is going to be James Gardner.
That's definitely a real one.
James Gardner. You know that one?
I mean, this sounds real.
It does sound real. All right, number 11 here. We're halfway home. Yeah, we're halfway home here. I don't think we've had any repeats from last race yet. So
No, I don't think so.
these seem like new people.
No horses running in both legs yet, so
Amanda Coles.
they're all trained by Belmont, so they're not running in both legs.
Yeah. I think Amanda Coles started Coles, the shop, right? The
Maybe,
store?
yes.
Okay. Amanda Coles is in the race trying to get that 1,000. 12th entry into the race is going to be Sam Agra. Is that how you say that name? Agre, Sam Agra?
Yeah. Sure.
All right, Sam Agra in the race. I don't think we've had any repeats at all.
Honestly, I didn't know any of these people existed until now, so I appreciate them being subscribers for sure. Again, we got a bunch of new blood.
I know a lot of these people. Oh my gosh. Oh, he almost got it. He missed it just again. Brian Lomas.
Well, you're just hanging around, William B.
William B has been like an inch away twice now. All right. 14th horse here as we go down.
What entry is this? 14?
14. And it's going to be Rebecca Sprague, I guess is how you say that, or Sprague. Sprague or Sprague? Maybe Sprague.
I don't know. Sure.
Okay, Rebecca, she's in. All right, number 15. Wheel of Death. But that's good. You want to be selected here.
Yeah.
Oh, this is one of our old school ones. Mutt M. I don't know his first name. Mutt M. That's one of he is like an original subscriber from back in the day. So there's like 15 accounts that are still like the ones from the old website that transferred over. Mutt M is one of them. So congratulations. Mutt M.
Get him, Mutt M.
Okay, number 16. Oh,
yeah,
man.
Kevin, they're all here for me.
All right, 16. Oh my goodness. Oh, Alfredo Lori.
Oh, can you see that, Amber? That's how close you were.
Shoddy was the very last tick. She lost it.
Oh.
Alfredo Lori. All right. We've got 16 names. This will be number 17. Oh, Shoddy.
To your last four.
Alfredo just noses out Shoddy. Okay, back at it here. Kenny Perry.
Kenny Perry.
Not Katie. Kenny Perry.
It's Katie's dad.
Katie's dad is in the race. Here's number 18. Oh boy. What a just sad day for Shoddy. She almost had it. Okay, number 18. John Bassett.
Let's get someone out of the chat in here.
Well, I don't control this wheel like many of you think I do.
I thought you did.
All right, number 19. Well, Marco might scratch, so we should draw and also now. All right,
that's true.
Number 19 is going to be Charles Brodsky. Charles Brodsky, number 19. And
right, last one.
Last one.
We're on post 20 here. Who's it going to be? It is a stretch. It's a straight track here, so no issues with turns.
Yeah, Joel G. We did draw that one. We got one in the chat. There you go.
Oh, and Gerald
Harple. Gerald Harple.
That doesn't sound like someone in the chat.
No.
Hey,
all right.
Joel G. Congrats.
That's it. So let me read them off here. Philip Lauro, David Feldman, Jeff Malik, Joel Gavin. I guess that's Joel G. There we go. Joel Gavin. Congratulations. Todd Bargstadt, Chris Holzhoff, Marco Rodriguez, Michelle Green, Daniel Henricks, James Gardner, Amanda Coles, Sam Agra, Brian Lomas, Rebecca Sprague or Sprague, Mutt M, Alfredo Lori.
I'm rooting for
Mutt M. I wonder what the guy's actual name is. We're going to learn it. Alfredo Lori, Kenny Perry, Katie's dad, John Bassett, Charles Brodsky, and Gerald Harple.
If we're betting on names, Muddum's got to be it, right? Like
Muddum is going to be very tough to beat. Joel G is the hometown horse for us, trained right here in the chat. So hopefully Joel Gavin gets the job done. That'd be a lot of fun. And yeah,
William, he's in here. William, do you or Bill, I should say, do you have any advice? You are our defending champion. You can confirm you did receive $1,000. Any advice for someone in here already that Joel G is in the race? How'd you win it?
Yeah. Give Joel G some advice. I do think that is smart that we do that.
Whatever it did, it worked.
It did work. I'm going to count, make sure we got 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yep, we have 20. We have 20. So there you go.
Post 8. Yeah, William B was post 8 last time. There you go.
Well, let's see who post 8 is here. Post 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Michelle Green.
Michelle Green. Let's see if post 8 is the hot one.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Just keep spinning the wheel for. Let's see how long how long we can keep the room in here. Or just keep spinning. You think,
well, I have no control over the horses.
For every occasion.
Well, yeah, but I have no control. I don't. That's you. You'd have to sneak Jared money to rig it because I don't operate the horse part of it. I'm just the wheel.
To be fair, I did set it up. I mean, I showed him the site, and then I could have rigged it up. Although I don't know how to do that either. So, no offense to everybody. I love everybody, and I don't care enough to get to do that. So, unless you're going to spend, give me like a lot of money, then maybe yeah, 6 figures maybe. I'll think about it.
Well, we've got a fun field here of 20. I think, like I said, I don't see any kind of spillover. I don't remember any of these horses being in it last month, I should say. Yeah.
Yep. So again, guys, we will be live on what day did I say in the chat or Thursday? On the post? June 5th. Yeah, June 5th, yep. Which is Thursday. And we will be live and doing blinkers off, of course, for the Belmont Stakes. We'll do the coverage. We'll do the race, the actual race. So, I mean, we're having fun here, but we will talk about the race. And then after that, we will conduct the live race of the Digital Racing Dudes Belmont Stakes of the top 20 there. If you did get it announced, we'll send out an email to everybody. That way everyone knows and they can tune in and make sure they watch. So, but hey, let's see if we can get another winner. Congrats to those 20, and we'll see those guys again on Thursday.
Yep.
Oh, man. We got, Manlow's been talking some shit, man. He's been, he's got a little Pacers Thunder bet. You never got back with me, Manlow. What's your, I said, is it the bet is who will win the series or that the Pacers will last 5 games?
Yeah, they'll last 5 games.
Yeah, I know.
I think it'll be a good series.
I think it'll be a good series, but I'd be surprised. I'll be surprised if they lose the series.
Yes, I would agree. Well, look, that's easy to say, right? With the Thunder are heavy favorites in this thing. Yeah, I'm with you though. I think they should win it. But I think it helps the Thunder that they're not having to play a team like the Celtics who won it last year and kind of have that championship experience. I do think that kind of helps.
Yeah. That Denver game was the toughest one just because they had that experience. So
that was the tough one. Yep.
But hey, I've been really impressed with the Pacers. You talk about gutty. They just don't quit on games. They've had multiple games where they come back in games, and they've kind of got that team mentality, kind of like we're not supposed to be here, so let's just keep winning, kind of thing, which is always dangerous. So, no, I think it'll be a fun series. The two good teams that have good defense and can score. So, yeah, should be fun. But again, guys. We will be live, obviously, Thursday. I don't know that we'll be live for the last two I've done. One was really drunk. One was medium, but not bad for the Preakness. I don't know that we'll be live for the Belmont because we'll be at the Belmont. Maybe we can try to go live. I don't know. We'll see. I wouldn't promise anything.
I would say 0% chance we'll be live Saturday during the race.
Well, not during the race, but like at some point.
Yeah,
like
after.
Yeah, no. Not during. No.
If it was like last year, you could even send out a text like an hour before the race. So,
yeah, that's true. Yeah. We'll see.
All
right, guys, that's all the time. I make sure you head over to the website at racingdudes.com. Go get the Belmont Stakes betting Bible available right now. You get it for free if you are a premium subscriber. So even if you didn't win or you didn't get in the top 20 there of our contest, you're still a premium subscriber. Go get the betting Bible. It's going to be available in your dashboard. We're working on it right now. So stay tuned for that. What's also cool about the betting Bible, and you get our picks updated throughout. So say it does rain a ton on Friday night, the picks will be updated Saturday morning. You'll download a new Bible, and you'll be set to go on Saturday. So everything's always updated. And you get my picks, you get Halterman's picks, exactly how we're going to bet this thing. We've hit both, whether it be me, whether it be Halterman, or both in some regards, both races so far. So it's been a really good Triple Crown. Hopefully we can finish things off this weekend at Belmont. Well, in the Belmont at Saratoga. We're on Twitter at race_dudes, Instagram and Facebook. You can find all episodes of Blinkers Off by visiting our podcast page. Apple Podcast, Spotify, all the places you like to listen to. We're on YouTube. Just make sure you search Racing Dudes. We're almost at 20K subscribers, so that'd be cool if you guys could help us get to that. So make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and like these videos because we'll have more coming your way. Halterman, I'll let you kind of leave it. What do you any last advice as people start to handicap this thing?
Last advice. Yeah, I mean, well, nobody's going to listen to this, but don't have any preconceived notions before you get the past performances and handicap it, and nobody will listen to that. But that's the way you should do it. I know everybody's already got their pick already, but you should really wait until the past performances come out and you can actually look at them side by side. So that would be my advice to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that helped me a ton in the Derby. I think it obviously I was in the belief that Clever again could beat journalism. That was really smart. But no, I think you're looking at these races, like these really, really good horses on paper together is always helpful. So although we have seen these top three on paper before, right, together. So we'll do it one more time here at the Belmont. So until Thursday, guys, that's a look at the field for I should also mention you'll probably have a video out here soon, right, with the preview for the Belmont Stakes.
Yes, we'll have a Met Mile and a Belmont Stakes preview video out. Like I said, I think the past performances will come out within the next hour or two, so then the video will come out then. So look for those two, and then then just look for that Belmont betting Bible. That'll be the next thing we'll get to work on. So but those previews will come out, I would say, within the next 2 or 3 hours. Yeah.
All right, guys. Until next time, I'm Jared Welch. He's Aaron Halterman. We'll talk to you later this week.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Blinkers Off. Join our horse racing community at racingdudes.com and follow us on Twitter at racing_dudes. dudes. Want to make money betting horses? Bet with the racing dudes.